Would you believe that some of the most venomous creatures on the planet aren't snakes, scorpions, or giant predators, but tiny animals small enough to fit on the tip of your finger? Creatures so small that a single drop of their venom can shut down your nervous system, collapse your heart, or paralyze your lungs before you even realize you've been touched. Some live in the ocean, some crawl in forests. Some hide in sand, coral, leaves, or even under your shoes. And make sure you stay until number 1, because the tiniest creature on this list carries a venom so powerful, scientists describe it as instant neurological shutdown. One mistake, and you won't even have time to scream. Welcome back to Top Wonder, the place where we uncover the deadliest, strangest, and most unbelievable creatures on Earth. Today, we're counting down 10 tiny animals with venom stronger than cobras. These creatures don't chase. They don't roar, they don't need speed or size. Instead, their power comes from microscopic droplets of biotoxins engineered by evolution to kill with horrifying efficiency. Some can kill in minutes, some cause pain so intense victims beg for death. And some, well, you'll see. Let's begin. Number 10. Fire urchin Asthenosoma varium. It's small, it's beautiful, it glows like a living rainbow. And it contains some of the most painful venom found in any marine creature. The fire urchin looks harmless at first glance, bright reds, purples, and oranges that resemble underwater flowers, but those colors are a warning. Every spine is tipped with venom, and hidden between the spines are tiny jaws called pedicellaria, each filled with its own additional venom. A single step on one of these small urchins delivers a dual attack. Sharp spines inject neurotoxins, pedicellaria clamp on and pump more venom. Victims report burning agony, nausea, temporary paralysis, and in the worst cases, shock and cardiac distress. One diver in Indonesia stepped on a fire urchin and later collapsed on the beach with chest tightness and difficulty breathing. It's small, colorful, and deadly, a living booby trap on the ocean floor. Number 9. Blue-lined octopus Haplochloenophoss shada. You may have heard of the blue-ringed octopus, but fewer people know about its equally deadly cousin, the blue-lined octopus. This tiny creature is no bigger than a grape, and its venom contains tetrodotoxin, a compound 1,200 times deadlier than cyanide and potent enough to kill within minutes. When calm, the blue-lined octopus looks almost plain, blending in with sand and coral. But when threatened, neon blue lines flash across its body, a visual warning that you have seconds to back away. Its bite is painless at first. That's the terrifying part. Victims often don't even realize they were bitten until their lips go numb and their breathing begins to fail. Tetrodotoxin blocks nerve signals, shutting down the diaphragm and paralyzing the lungs. There is no antidote. Survival depends entirely on continuous CPR until the toxin wears off, sometimes hours later. A creature this tiny, yet powerful enough to stop your breathing in minutes. Number 8. Flower hat jellyfish Hollandias formosa. Floating gently through coastal waters of Japan, Brazil, and Argentina, the flower hat jellyfish is one of the most visually stunning jellies in the world, translucent, glowing, almost hypnotic. But beneath its beauty lies a venom more powerful than many species of cobras. Its tentacles fire thousands of nematocysts, microscopic venom darts that cause piercing pain, deep burns, muscle spasms, and in severe cases, life-threatening cardiac irregularities. One sting is enough to send a fully grown adult into shock. In 2016, an Argentine swimmer brushed against one and collapsed moments later, unable to breathe as his chest tightened violently. Lifeguards managed to revive him, but he spent days in the hospital recovering from cardiac complications. Its hypnotic glow hides a venom designed to kill quickly, a deceptive assassin of the ocean. Number 7. Dragon Millipede Desmoxites purpurosia. It looks like a miniature pink dragon, bright, spiky, and barely longer than your thumb. But this tiny arthropod carries a terrifying secret. It secretes cyanide. Yes, actual cyanide, the same chemical used historically in executions. When threatened, the dragon millipede releases hydrogen cyanide gas from its glands. While the amounts are usually small, direct skin exposure can trigger headaches, dizziness, vomiting, and in high enough concentrations. Respiratory failure. A group of hikers in Thailand reported finding dozens of these millipedes along a trail. Minutes after touching them, several felt their throats tighten and their breathing become labored. They survived, but only after receiving oxygen support. A pink, spiky creature that smells like almonds, nature's smallest cyanide bomb. Number 6. Spiny oak slug caterpillar Euclea delphini. It looks soft, fragile, almost huggable. But this tiny caterpillar is coated in venom-tipped spines that deliver a sting strong enough to send people to the emergency room. The spines inject a venom that causes intense throbbing pain, deep red welts, nausea, migraines, swollen lymph nodes, and, in rare cases, anaphylactic shock. Gardeners in the US frequently brush against these without realizing it. In 2022, a woman pruning oak branches in Georgia gasped and collapsed after touching one. Her blood pressure dropped so rapidly that paramedics had to inject epinephrine on the spot. This is one of the smallest creatures in North America capable of triggering a potentially fatal reaction with a single touch. We're only halfway through this list, and already we've seen creatures capable of paralyzing lungs, collapsing hearts, and dissolving tissue. But the top 4 are even deadlier. One can fire a microscopic harpoon filled with venom. One causes agony so intense people scream uncontrollably. And number 1 kills with just a drop. Don't blink. Number 5. Blue-legged sea cucumber juvenile. Sea cucumbers are usually harmless, but the blue-legged juvenile variant has a defense mechanism so extreme that scientists consider it one of the most toxic echinoderms in shallow reefs. When disturbed, it releases holothrin, a potent cytotoxin that destroys living cells on contact. Holothrin can cause tissue necrosis, severe burning, muscle paralysis, respiratory distress. Fishermen in Malaysia have documented multiple cases where just handling one caused their hands to blister and swell within minutes. The toxin is so dangerous that it can stun or kill small fish instantly when released into the water. A tiny creature, nearly invisible on coral, yet carrying a venom strong enough to dissolve tissue. Number 4. Geographic cone snail Conus geographus, juvenile. It looks like a pretty seashell, small, harmless. The kind tourists pick up from beaches, but inside this shell lives a creature responsible for dozens of human deaths, even though juveniles are barely the size of your fingertip. The juvenile cone snail carries a venom cocktail known as toxins, a mixture of dozens of neurotoxins that shut down nerves instantly. It fires them through a microscopic harpoon tooth capable of piercing gloves, wetsuits, and human skin with ease. Victims often report feeling pins and needles before losing control of their limbs. Then the diaphragm fails, then the heart slows. Death can occur within minutes. There is no antivenom. One fisherman in the Philippines died after a juvenile cone snail stung his thumb. The venom paralyzed him before he even reached the shore. A beautiful shell, hiding a perfect biological weapon. Number 3. Irukandji jellyfish variant Malokindji, juvenile. If the regular Irukandji jellyfish is already one of the most dangerous creatures in the ocean, the Malokindji variant is even worse. Barely the size of a fingernail, this jellyfish delivers a sting that triggers Irukandji syndrome, one of the most excruciating medical conditions ever recorded. Symptoms begin quietly, a prick, a tingle, maybe a cramp. But 20 to 40 minutes later, the real nightmare begins. Victims experience crushing muscle pain, intense spinal pressure, uncontrollable vomiting, skyrocketing blood pressure, profuse sweating, respiratory distress, and a psychological phenomenon known as sense of impending doom, so overwhelming that many victims begged doctors to kill them to end the suffering. In 2002, a tourist in Queensland died after being stung by a Malo-Kinji juvenile while swimming near shore. Lifeguards never even saw the jellyfish, an invisible assassin capable of causing agony beyond imagination. Number 2. Velvet worm onychophora. It doesn't bite, it doesn't sting, it doesn't look dangerous at all. But this tiny worm is one of the most unique venom users on Earth. Instead of injecting venom, it spits a fast-hardening slime filled with paralyzing enzymes that immobilize prey instantly. This corrosive slime can glue skin, irritate eyes, trigger intense burning, dissolve soft tissue, cause muscle paralysis. In rare cases when humans handle them carelessly, the slime can cause deep chemical burns that require medical treatment. Researchers in Costa Rica documented a case where a scientist experienced partial head and numbness for 48 hours after exposure. Tiny, slow, soft-bodied, but capable of chemically immobilizing anything it touches, including humans. 1. Centipede. A juvenile centipede may only be a few centimeters long, but it carries a venom so potent that victims compare the pain to being burned alive. Its venom contains cardiotoxins, neurotoxins, and compounds that break down cell membranes, causing swelling, necrosis, and respiratory distress. In 2010, a man in the Philippines died after being bitten on the foot by a small juvenile scolopendra. The venom caused a chain reaction, fever, chills, organ stress, then cardiac arrest. The juvenile is more dangerous than the adult because it injects more venom relative to its size. It is faster, more nervous, easier to provoke. People underestimate it because it looks harmless. This tiny creature embodies the theme of our countdown. Sometimes the deadliest killers are the smallest ones. So there you have it, -10 tiny creatures with venom stronger than cobras. From cyanide secreting millipedes to jellyfish you can't even see. From venomous shells to octopuses no bigger than grapes, these creatures prove that size means nothing in the world of toxins. Which one shocked you the most? The cone snail's lethal harpoon? The Malo-Kinji's unbearable agony? Or the centipede whose venom can kill within hours? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another countdown from the wild, deadly, and unbelievable world of nature.